yourself, being yourself. Like for me, I feel like it's you are you. Nobody can be you. Just simply being you is beautiful.
Welcome to the Beauty Talk podcast, where we feature how the best medical practitioners help their patients to look better, younger, and healthier. Now, enjoy the show, and here's your host.
Daniel Gao here. I'm the host of Beauty Talk. We feature the top medical practitioners in health and beauty, both inside and out. I have Candace Sullivan, the founder of Skin Cave, a skincare studio located in Gastonia, North Carolina. She's a licensed esthetician in North Carolina and Ohio, and she's intentional about combining real skincare science with self-care that actually supports the skin. She wants to be known for creating deeply personalized skin journeys with a strong focus on barrier repair and advanced facial therapies that deliver results without compromising skin health. She works closely with professional brands like Circadian and ProCell Therapies, and she's built a loyal clientele through education, trust, and real transformation. At the heart of her work is helping clients feel seen, supported, and confident in their skin. So Candace, welcome and glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's start at the very top, Candace. How did you first get interested in the medical field?
For me, I've always loved skin. I actually love beauty, everything beauty, hair, skin, nails, but I knew I was not going to do anybody's hair. I knew I was not going to be doing anybody's nails, but my favorite thing to do was actually to work on my own skin, family skin. It was just something I like to do just for fun. I worked in a factory for years and decided, like, why not do something that I love and do it every day? So it started my journey. Like one day I just said, yep, I'm going to school.
Wow. Okay, that's quite a turnaround from working in factory. Now you're in the aesthetic side. So
Yes.
okay. So then I guess what prompted you to start your own practice? I mean, why not just kind of work for another practice? Why decide to start your own practice?
For me, so the area that I was from, I didn't think I would flourish, so I actually relocated to North Carolina. That being said, I started off just waxing, but I knew that was not where my love was at. My love was actually helping people with their skin. And I knew that I couldn't be myself in someone else's business. I felt like if I had my own, that I can be myself and I dictate what I do and what I offer.
Got it. Okay. So now that you have this practice, I want to dive into some of the treatments that you provide to your clients. I want to talk about the barrier repair, barrier repair comeback. And I think this kind of is more around for clients who feel like nothing has worked. But can you talk a little bit more about what does that mean, the barrier repair?
Barrier repair is basically, most of my clients that come in, they're unsure about what's going on there. They've tried everything. Every little thing is sensitive to them. They're like, the littlest thing feels like they're either breaking out or they feel like their skin is on fire. And sometimes I tell them, I'm like, what are we using? What ingredients are we using? What products are we using? And actually, what do you do for work? Like, what is your day-to-day going on? Because stress can be a part of creating like a bad barrier.
Wow. Okay. So it's really about, I guess it's more people with sensitive skin is kind of the people that you see most often.
For me, sensitive skin and hyperpigmentation usually are the top two that I have. But with the barrier repair is always hand in hand, I feel like, with hyperpigmentation and the sensitive skin. Seeing that people come in and they're unsure about what's going on with their skin, like I always usually start off with like a barrier repair type of setting.
Okay. And so with these corrective results that you're looking at, I'm assuming that having a gentle approach and looking at the long-term skin health is an important piece of that. So what specifically are you looking, you kind of mentioned a couple of things as far as like, what are the ingredients, what lifestyle wise, but what are you doing when you start looking at how to take corrective action for people's skin?
For me, I have like, so have you ever heard of the Approach Star? Usually you use it for resumes. It's literally like situation,
Mhm.
task, action, result.
Mhm.
Like literally when people go into interviews, they usually use that type of method. I actually use it in my treatment. So the S is basically the situation, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, the situation basically is either the skin is compromised or either they're dealing with hyperpigmentation. We're trying to figure that out. The task is basically figuring it out, what is going on. And then A, of course, is the action, the approach that I'm going to take. And usually the approach that I'm going to take is different for everyone. Um, and I do look at lifestyle. I do look at the way they eat, where they're working at. Is how stressful is your day? How stressful is work? I look at that. I look at the products that you're currently using and products that we can bring in for you to use. And then of course the R is for results, and we try to find get the best results we can, and for overall health. Because I'm going for a health goal, like something longevity of it.
Okay. And what would you say some of the most common mistakes you see people make when it comes to their skincare? I know you mentioned stress is one thing, so try to relax and not be so stressed out. But what are some things that people just don't realize that plays a role in their skincare?
Either too many products or not the right product.
Okay.
Or right ingredient. Yeah.
Okay. So for the ingredients, what's your general approach for ingredients? Is there some ingredients that kind of across the board, it's probably going to hurt people's skin, or is it going to be very specific person by person?
It is person by person, but I do get a lot of clients that the ones that do exfoliate, they over-exfoliate. So we're telling people to do it 2 to 3 times a week. Usually I start off people that haven't done it twice a week, but you'll get some people oh, if it works this time, I might as well do it every day. So sometimes that ends up being a huge issue.
Okay. So when you mean too much product, it can either be they're using too many items at the same time, or they're doing the same thing too often.
So too many products at one time, or too many actives. So they can clearly use a lot of actives at one time that they shouldn't be using, or a product or something that wasn't meant for their skin type or their issue.
Okay. Is there anything else people need to be aware of when it comes to their skin, just some easy fixes that they just maybe don't realize, or that is just very easy to overlook?
Start simple. Literally start simple. A good cleanser, gentle cleanser. If you're unsure, a gentle cleanser, a good moisturizer, and SPF. But I love to tell people to make sure you get a serum. But if you can't get a serum at that moment, a gentle cleanser, a good moisturizer, and SPF is non-negotiable.
Okay. Now for the SPF, I've heard a lot of people say that you should wear sunscreen with good SPF. But what would you say to people that largely work indoors? Maybe they don't have much of a commute, so they're not in the sun. Even if they do commute, but they don't get direct sunlight, it's just reflective if they go kind of early in the morning. Is it really important for that person to wear SPF?
Yes, it is. I tell all my clients, I do not care. SPF is it's going to be one of your best friends, especially when you are doing corrective treatments or you're trying to do preventative treatments. SPF is your best friend.
Okay.
Indoor, outdoor, SPF.
Okay. So for people that work indoors, I guess, if they're thinking that I'm indoors, I'm not getting direct sunlight, what's the benefit of wearing the SPF if you're not getting direct sunlight?
At the end of the day, you're getting some sun. 9 times out of 10, most places you're going by a window, your commute, you're in a car. So you're still having issues with, some type of sunlight. You just need that protection.
Okay. So even though it's not necessarily direct sunlight, you still do need that protection because you're getting reflectives in some way.
You get reflective, yes.
Okay, got it. Now, I want to talk about your circadia facials. What is your circadia facials, and what's the main benefit of them?
So Circadia, of course, is a brand. I definitely love them. They've been a big part of my education when I decided to go out on my So basically, we have different versions. Just depends on what they're coming in for. One of my favorite ones to do is probably the oxygen treatment.
Mhm.
I like that because it's good. Anybody can do it. I love doing it for people that are going on events. My acne clients, it's amazing.
Now, is it mostly for helping with acne, or is it more for just like more refreshed look, or is it like or all
All
of
the
the above?
above, all the above. It's literally like one of the things that I love doing because it's just it gives people that nice glow when they're leaving out, and 9 times out of 10 they are happy when they leave out from the O2 facial. And I
Mm,
like combine it with different things for the acne treatments. I usually combine it with a charcoal mask. So, and that helps with the detoxing of the skin, and then also putting the oxygen back into the skin.
okay. Now, when it comes to this treatment, are there any, I guess, common misconceptions or common myths that your clients have about this treatment that maybe not it's not right, or maybe they just kind of view it different? Like, are there any common misconceptions you hear from your clients when it comes to these types of treatments?
Um, Sometimes they want quick fixes. Everything is like every picture is not a quick fix. That's probably a misconception because they want like they're all like, oh, like I seen somebody they did it. Yes, you're gonna get it, but you're gonna get a better benefit if you do several of those treatments and then home care. Another thing is like since it is like every step is like time based, like you leave it on too long, like it defeats the purpose of doing putting it on their skin, so it can become harmful. Like it's just different things, just little tweaks you can make to help the facial or to upgrade the facial, I should say.
Okay. And what is a realistic time frame that people should expect when it comes to any of these treatments before they can start to notice tangible results?
I always try to recommend 3 to 6 facials, but I might not do like the O2 facial every single time. Like we sit down, we talk about what your goals are, and then we also talk about realistic goals, and then we set that plan.
Okay. And how often can someone come in for the facials? Is it once a week, once every other week, or what does that look like?
Um, so I have some clients that come in most of my clients come in every 2 weeks for some type of facial. And then the realistic people, sometimes their timing is 4 to 6.
Okay. So 3 to 6 sessions every 2 to 6 weeks or so?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Now, Candace, what do you wish that your clients knew before they came in to see you?
What do I wish they knew?
Yeah, like maybe common mistakes they're making, or something that would like make it easier for their journey to get the results they're looking for, anything along those lines.
That is okay when they come in if they don't know or know that they were doing something wrong.
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't go get like they don't look for an esthetician because they don't know, or they don't want to feel like insecure about their skin. Just leave it. But I just want like when they come in my room, it's like I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel supported. So definitely, like when they walk into my door, they're definitely going to feel supported through their journey.
Mhm. And that kind of leads me to another part as far as empowering your clients and providing that consistency for them. Like
Mm-hmm.
how important is that? Can you kind of talk a little bit more about that and like how you approach your client care?
So for my client care, what we do, of course, we do our skill analysis, our consultation. We go over everything that they're doing currently, products that they're using currently. And for my first approach is if a client comes in and they say that like this is what I have at home, I don't know what to be using, but I don't have, I can't buy everything at one time. I do go over the products that they currently have at home that will work for the moment that they can use up. And I tell them to buy, what they can add to their collection as they're, finishing up to help minimize the cost. So that's one approach that I'll go over. The next thing is actually creating a program for them. I do sometimes already have preset programs, but also, like I said, everybody is different. So I try to approach it different every single time.
Okay.
And then I literally tell them they can call or text me. I try to get back with them within 24 hours. And sometimes it's just a simple text I can answer right away. Even if they are unsure about a certain product they're using, or they forgot about how to use a certain product that they purchased in here, I always tell them to text me and I'll get back to them.
Okay. Now, let's say, Candace, that someone is looking to get some type of treatment done, but they don't know anybody, any providers around their area. What advice would you give to this person as they're doing their search so that they can find that person that is trustworthy, is knowledgeable, and can get them the results they're looking for?
I always tell people, set up a consultation. Like, my consultations are free, so I want you to come in. I want you to feel comfortable with me before I actually lay my hands on you. So when you are looking for somebody, ask questions. As if you don't know, if you don't ask questions, you're not going to get the answer. You're not going to find the answer to it. So I just tell people to just ask questions. Set up an appointment with a provider that you may like, that you looked on. Maybe you found them long ago and you're unsure if this person works for you. Set up that consultation just to speak to that person, because sometimes that person may not be your person.
Okay, good to know. And I want to go back to how you approach your client care. How important do you think it is to have an artistic eye in what you do?
I think it's very important. I had a conversation with another esthetician. We were talking about TikTok, example. TikTok, good and bad when it comes to products. Because when one thing is on there and everybody is using it, guess what? I'm getting 101 people talking about Candace. Hey, I've seen this on TikTok. You think this will work for my skin? I'm like, I don't know. So I feel like just you have I know that I'm gonna not I go to school to get the knowledge, to understanding, and I do continuous education, because there may be some things like I don't want to forget anything, for one, and to be some new things that is going on. So I'm continuous education. So at the same time as I'm educating myself, I educate my clients.
Got it. Okay. Now, Candace, I'm sure that throughout your experience, you've had some maybe memorable cases that you've worked on, or even challenging cases. Is there maybe one story that you can share of just one of those cases and how you were able to get a good outcome in the end for them?
Okay. An example would be, I have a client that she came to me. She actually had barrier issues, like point blank. She really didn't do a lot to her skin. She barely used any product on her skin. I think at one time she was only using water to wash her face. That's it. And when she did, I think she had went to a store, I don't even know what type of store it was, because it wasn't like a typical skincare store or anything like that. It was like a store that you can get random discounted stuff. So of course she decides to pick up those products, and it tore her face up completely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But then on top of that, which she did not tell me, because we went over like stressors, we went over lifestyle. She never told me that she was having issues at work to the point where it was actually affecting her skin. So with her, when we first went in, we talked about different things about what we could do. And we decided to start her off with, of course, a barrier repair type of facial, using calming ingredients like Calm, anything that was lightweight, especially with me trying to, I didn't want to start anything crazy because I didn't want anything to go out of whack either. But we started off with that. But at first, everything was good. Perfect. Skin was getting, better. She was tolerating different things. And I was like, okay, so the next thing would be if we can get something that was a little bit more active, but we're gonna hold off a little bit for that. And she calls me freaking out. She doesn't want to use the product. I want to bring the products back that I haven't opened. I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? She's like, it's burning my face. I'm like, we've been using it for a month. Nothing should be burning. When you come in for facials, these are the products we were using. And we had a deep dive. She's still unsure. to the point where here she threw hundreds of dollars away of product instead of giving it away. And she didn't come back. But then she up and called me and was like, I apologize. And it was like, she's like, I'm so proud. I'm glad you answered the phone. And I was like, yeah, I answered the phone, like, what, what's going on? And she said, I owe you a big apology. And I said, well, why? And she's like, she had left her job. And I said, okay. She was like, one of my friends had ended up talking to me, and she said, didn't you have this issue 10 years ago with the flare up? Because like I said, stuff being insistent. And her friend, and she told her friend, yeah. She was like, you sure this is not the issue? She's like, no, it got to be the products, And like I said, she quit her job. And maybe 6 months later, she was like, the flare up, the issues that she was having with the flare up because of the stress was clearing up. And she called me and apologized. And we had got her back on the books because she knew everything I was doing was helping her. And now she's doing wonderful with the barrier repair. We can put actually actives on her skin now that are a little bit more active to get some of the hyperpigmentation that she had created on herself. And it's just that wonderful thing where it's like with her, it was like different because most people, you don't have that. But at the same time, it's like it was good for her to come back to me and say, hey, I apologize. This is what was happening. And you asked me, she literally said, you asked me all these questions. You told me, you gave me the knowledge. She was like, she's like, I just had to blame somebody.
Yeah, it's a great story because I mean, sometimes it's disconnecting the product from maybe another issue. So it's all about the education part, as you mentioned. So I think it's a great story to share. People just need to be aware that if the product's not doing anything and then suddenly you're burning, it's probably not that.
Yeah, and that was the thing, like trying to explain to her because I'm like, no, I was like, we were doing fine. Like, what has changed? Nothing has changed, and I'm like, something has changed, please. I was like, let's go over X, Y, Z. Like, let's go over this thing. Why don't you just come in so we can talk about it? Because like over the phone, sometimes I think things get miscued, and text sometimes it does. So I'll always have clients come back in, even after their first facial. I'll reach out if you want to come in and have any questions. We can set that up. Like I'll, carve out a little bit of extra time for them.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great story, Candace.
Thank
you. Where do you think the future of aesthetics is going?
For me or for in general?
Yeah, in general. Like, where do you think the industry's going?
It's going up. Things change constantly. I feel like more and more people are getting into the field, I feel like. They already said it was like $1 billion industry, but at the same time, I feel like, more people are being more conscious about their skincare. So I feel like it's just going to go up. It's going to be more people asking for it, more people wanting it, and hopefully more people starting early. I always tell people, I have a friend that's, she has actually got me into doing Korean facials, and she was saying how like they start young with their skincare, and I feel now in the Western type, we're actually trying to start early now.
Oh, it's good. I think it sounds like it's gonna be a bright future then for the industry.
Definitely, it definitely is. I feel like it's going to be a more need for a more want for it. I think different techniques are going to be different. Like I like using certain machines, but then I also like just using my hands for basic things.
Okay. And with that future in mind, what is your vision for your practice, skincare?
For me, I actually want to add on more of a bigger spa. I want to do like the salt cave, a lounge. And I want it a little bit big, but I still want it to be intimate. So I want it to be bigger, but I should say offering more, especially with the area that I'm currently at, which is in Gastonia. I feel like right now, it's a lot that we can do or I can offer. But I still want to make sure that it's an intimate setting when they walk in my my treatment room.
Well, that's a very good vision for the practice.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Candace, I have one last question for you, but before I ask it, I do want to point people to your website at skincave.com.
Yes.
Now, last question is, what does beauty mean to you?
Yourself, being yourself. Like for me, I feel like it's you are you. Nobody can be you. Just simply being you is beautiful.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Candace sharing her expertise. So Candace, where can people contact you in your practice?
For me, of course, support at skincave.com is an email that they can reach me at. Or they can also reach me at 704-941-6999. Or they can reach me at my website, which is skincave.com.
Awesome. Well, Candace, this was great. Thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing your message.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Beauty Talk podcast. Any questions, please contact the practice directly with the contact information provided during the show. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.